Greetings and salutations! Here we are with the Polytopia Aquarion update. We have sharks here in the water, as well as the Tride engine, and a brand new puffer unit. All excited for the rework to help bring Aquarion to its own unique special status, besides just being the Tride engine. We're going to go ahead and get into a game. I could do perfect or domination, but I think it'll be more appropriate if we go ahead and just create our own custom game. We're going to do it on continents. We're going to do it as a large instead to give ourselves a little bit more space. Mighty leader, you have been chosen to rule the Aquarion tribe. Explore the world and expand your empire. But watch out for the other tribes. The objective, of course, is always the same. Wipe out the other tribes from the face of the square. There can only be one. So here we are as Aquarion, and immediately we get to see some of the new things. We got the same exact fields, but these fields are flooded, and flooded allows us to accomplish something that other tribes kind of get to struggle on, such as these count as water tiles. Now, it's still a land tile. You can still build roads, and, well, we don't have roads. Waterways doesn't have that. But we can move water units on these land tiles now. So we're going to go ahead and try to do what Aquarion does best. And if you even hear that, you can even hear the splashing sound of us moving across the water. We're going to go ahead and make the safer play and look for our villages, and I just want to get one little point across. We're going to go ahead and move on to this coastal line. With this, we can now see that Aquarion, right from the get-go, despite having no technologies, can move on to the coastal waters. That's because if we take a look at the mermaid unit, they have dash, fortify, but they also have amphibious. Having the exact same stats as a warrior, this unit can move on land and water, but is slower on land. So these units excel at moving through water. Now, we could, if we get to marine life, get the movement to get us onto oceans, but we're a little bit of a ways onto that. We need to be improving our economy, which is unfortunately one of the weaknesses that Aquarion struggles on in the early game. As you can see right over here, it's going to be really difficult for us to get a couple levels on our city, including with all this coastal land. There's absolutely no fish. We'll jump back onto that here in a little bit. Passing turn, we really need to find that other village, and instead we find something a little terrifying, and that Imperius is here just to the south of us. We're going to go ahead and continue to move onto the water. And moving back here, there is our village. With all of this information that we have, we need to go ahead and just level up our capital, and we'll be able to level up this city over here as well. We're going to go ahead and pick up organization, fruit, and get ourselves a workshop. Now we have 4 stars per turn. This is okay, but you're going to notice that it's going to be a while before we hit level 3. So right now, while we seem to have a good economy, it's quickly going to fall off, especially if we're appropriately exploring for our opponents. That was not good. So we found Imperius, and if we take the time to kill off this warrior, we're going to get bodied by another warrior that can be trained from the capital over here, as all it has to do is move to here, and then our unit will die. We really need this village, as we don't have any others. So we will take this opportunity to recover our mermaid, so that way we are going to have the potential of claiming this village. We do have 9 stars, thanks to the first. Thanks for the meeting bonus. But ooh, there we go. There's a village. We need to find more villages. Now, I am considering picking up writing so we can get a little bit faster exploration here into the east and possibly find a village over there. It's not a terrible idea because it'll allow us to fight well in the early game, at least on all these water tiles, but it'll be really hard to move inland. Now, we do have access to the flood tech right after writing, so we could potentially do that. But I'd rather be focusing on Aquarion's biggest weakness, and that is their early game economy. In order to get a better economy, we do need to find more villages, though. Because we could either be moving here to the flooded tiles, or be heading towards marine life and get the sharks a-rolling. Now, sharks do cost 8 stars, so we really need to improve our economy to at least +8 or more, preferably at least +9 before we can get sharks. How are we going to get that? Well, we really need this village. In order to get this village, we can actually fight for it if we pick up this writing tech. So, looks like in the end, amphibians, as riders are one of the superior tech units, is the proper way for us to go. And with this, we will then be able to... I was expecting a little bit more of an exchange, and against a human player, you should be expecting riders as well, so this amphibian would have been the correct choice. But we get to get away with go ahead and claiming this village. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is we're going to explore this tile. Ooh, that leads to an interesting tech option for us. Move on to this village here. But I really want this fog to go away next turn. So, we're going to be wanting to pick up the climbing tech on our next turn, as we have the perfect amount of stars in order to not only pick up climbing, but to level up this new city over here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Climbing, move on to get this ruin over here, which uncovers all the fog, and we get to see that either here or here, there is going to be another village, preferably on this tile, thanks to this coastal tile here. As Aquarion, you really want to understand where land tiles are. Like, for instance, thanks to the shallow water you can see here, we know there's land on this tile, but not on this tile. So we're going to go ahead and claim all of these villages. And fruit, and picking up and explore. Come on, please. No, don't go that way. Hey, we got to find Zabazi. One of the benefits of exploring is you get to see a lot more of the map. Unfortunately, oh my goodness. And Cymanti, oh my goodness, this explorer is golden. Now, I really wanted this explorer to go south in order to find the lighthouse here in the corner, but meeting 2 players to give us such a massive boost, I actually made a misplay capturing this village. I should have saved on it just in case of this exact same scenario, because now all of our techs are really expensive. Dang, missed opportunity there, but we'll do better next time. We do have a lot of metal in both of these cities, so we will be wanting to pick up mining on our next turn. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and pick up an amphibian here in our capital to continue to explore this away. With that, we will go ahead. Ooh. Oh no, that's bad. Alright, we'll go ahead and pass the turn. Now, if the AI is smart, they can actually siege this city, but unfortunately, they made a misplay. I got distracted by the ice being created over here, as we now know our 4th opponent is Polaris. We could definitely do something with that. We're gonna go over here, bop, and get a free trade on this rider with an excellent hit. We'll go ahead and pick up these ruins. Ooh, get a Schwarzman. But let's go ahead and take care of some other plants. I do want to pick up mining. We really need to save up our techs. We really do need to be leveling up our stuff. We could definitely have this city get sieged on the next turn. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is we're going to place our rider here. It will help protect our city in case it does get sieged. We're going to go and train another amphibian. You know, we're just training amphibians everywhere, but I want this unit to be healed. As I believe they could still siege, but it'll cost them all of their units. So this puts us in a pretty good position. We have our amphibians to travel across the water really quickly. And in the upcoming turns, we actually have the perfect amount of stars in order to level up our southern city of Aquarion.
We'll pass the turn here. Bop-a-da-bop. And look at that, our last meeting bonus with Polaris. We really want to go ahead and put Polaris on ice and stop their advance. So what we'll do here, Amphibian, bop-a-da-bop, and get more of an explorer. I did not like what I see. Move over here, bop. Oh man, none of this is really that great. Because we're on ice counts as land. Man, that's just really not that good. Man, that hurts my soul. So we're going to go ahead and move over to claim this village. I'm going to move this mermaid back so we can heal it. We're going to go and pick up our mining tech that I wanted. And mine here. Harvest the fruit. Get ourselves some more resources. And now we're still got a bad economy. We've got 3 cities. Notice we're on turn 8 and we're struggling to maintain a good economy, despite getting all of these great first meeting bonuses and getting a whole bunch of extra stars. That is because of resource distribution, Aquarion really suffers on their economy. So the best thing you could do is learn how to balance all of it in order to mitigate this weakness. We're going to go and pick up this mine. And with the workshop, we actually now have an okay economy, because 3 cities, so 10 divided by 3 is 3.3, so it's a greater than 3. We're now doing okay. We're going to move this amphibian back. This is probably a mistake if the battle sled can get on the mountain, because that's going to be really tricky to kill off. This is probably a bad trade over here. We actually need to start considering playing a little bit more defensively. Move over here. I do want to go ahead and get the village that's on this tile here. I was hoping, and I might still be able to, but I'm really hoping in order to find some ruins on the water. But Polaris may have already taken it. Huh. So, how am I going to be dealing with these riders? We're going to go ahead and get a mermaid here, because our amphibians are going to struggle moving on to this land, even though riders typically have 2 movement. But because of this amphibian train, they are slower on land and they only move 1 tile, as you saw on this ice over here. So the riders, yes, they can do something over here, but I need a front line, and this mermaid here should help out with that. In other news, we will pick up an amphibian because we can move 1-2 through this flooded land. Go ahead and pass the turn. I believe that's Zabazi that is down. Imperious actually getting a solid kill right there. We'll go ahead and kill this unit with our mermaid, and it's within 2 tiles of this rider, so we're going to go ahead and veteran it up. I guess I could have moved this mermaid here, but this mermaid's also about to die. Interesting. They ended up fleeing. I was not expecting that. We're going to go ahead and move over here, get this lighthouse. Move over here, find this village over here. We really are trying to bring this swordsman to where all of the fighting actually is happening. We're going to go ahead and secure this kill here. Move it on. Oof. Now, this amphibian will get one shot by this hexapod, so while it'd be great to siege, we really want to avoid losing too many units for free. Which, unfortunately, this mermaid kind of is in a spot to do so. So if we move it back, we'll be able to heal it up. And then it will no longer die for free. We got choices for the next upcoming couple of turns. Interesting. We're going to go ahead and we'll spend the turn to break the ice as we have more mobility actually on water. So this actually helps us out a lot. I actually have not considered how well Aquarion fights against Polaris, as all of their units are naval units. Interesting. So we do have 10 stars. I could train another unit here in my capital, but I do have multiple options that I want to consider. Smithery would be nice for forges. But we don't really have an accessible spot in any of our cities to get proper mileage out of that. Really think we're going to be picking up fishing on the next turn, so again, we can continue to improve our economy. Plus, we'll be able to find something pretty nice by doing so. So we're going to go ahead and pass the turn and save our stars. Alrighty. Move you onto this village over here. And before we capture the village, we really need to consider what technology we want to go ahead and acquire. Waterways would be useful to help start connecting our cities up. It would level up my capital. Let's see, so 10. We're going to be just short from the actual good stuff that I want. Because I could level up our capital to Sin by picking up waterways. But unfortunately that... Oh, actually, then we can level up our other city at Tunquo? Yeah, you know what? We're going to go ahead and take care of that. It'll also allow us to start flooding the land, which we'll want to do in the nearby future. Notice we're still not going to pick up this city because what we're going to go ahead and do... Oh, where's going to be the best location? 1, 2, 3. So let's take a look at what the atoll is. Atoll connect to cities and other atolls through ocean, water, and wetlands within a 3-tile radius. So 1, 2, 3. We could put it over here, and it makes it a lot easier for us to connect these cities. Now they all kind of still connect the exact same way. So it doesn't quite make a huge difference where I put it, as long as it's either here or here or here, which I can only have these 2 tiles. No matter what, we won't be able to connect these cities unless we flood and then place in another atoll. So I'm going to go ahead and just place it on this land tile right here, because I've got a gut feeling about something. Resources. We're going to go ahead and pick up this mine. More resources. Puts us back to 10, and with that, we're then going to go ahead and pick up the fishing technology and capture this village down here. Very nice. It works out quite nicely for us. Ooh, I want to heal this unit up, so I really need to place it in my own borders. So we'll go ahead and throw you on over here. I need you to heal up. We're going to move you forward here. You've got a kill. You've got a kill. We're going to go ahead and feed you a second. Yeah, that works out nicely for us. Move this veteran unit here to body block for this amphibian. And we're actually here threatening a siege on the capital of Imperius, as we do have 3 units in range. And yes, the amphibian still is in range, as it's a flooded tile here, so it can move onto this tile. So this is actually looking pretty nice for us. If we also... Wow, we don't have any other units I could train and be able to land a siege, unfortunately. But there is quite a bit going on over here, so it is making me a little nervous, not gonna lie. So, do I want to train another military unit? Yeah, we'll go ahead and train ourselves an amphibian, as military might is still pretty important. We're gonna go ahead, move you here, and then break the ice. We find ourselves another village. So unfortunately, still no ruins here in the ocean. I wonder if Polaris went ahead and took it. So we're on turn 10 with 13 stars per turn. So it's not excellent, but we do have a pretty good economy. So we're going to go ahead, pass the turn, figure out what's going on, and get ready to deal with Imperius. Ooh. Alright, that works out for us. So I could pick up aquaculture. This would allow us to use these aqua crops to our advantage, which Aquarion has a decent amount of. So here's an aqua crop here, a singular aqua crop here, which both of those do nothing for us. It would allow us to level up this city more, but I think I'd rather just improve my economy even further. So we're going to go ahead and just capture the city. And then we're going to fish here. And then pick up an atoll here. Very beneficial for us, grabbing a workshop, another fish, Oh, minor misplay. I should have leveled up this city first. Another workshop. And, wow, we're doing pretty good on units when it comes to it now. Unfortunately, Imperius did train a defender, so we're not going to be able to siege, but I want to keep applying pressure to Imperius wherever I can. So we're going to go ahead and secure this kill. You don't need to... We need to break this ice. I need you to just recover. I need you to just recover. You've got a kill, so we're going to go ahead and just move you... we'll move you over here and take this risk. I don't see anything that could absolutely destroy this, so... Hopefully there's no hexapods. There should be a hexapod, but we're just going to take that gamble. And just in case they manage some crazy play... Can they even siege the city? I don't think so. No, I don't see any way for that to happen. They would have to somehow get a hexapod onto this tile and then kill and then move on over. So it could happen, but I have units in order to prevent it. We need to save our stars to improve our economy, because that is our top priority. I would like to start getting crabs. Go ahead and end the turn. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and fish, fish, fish. Resources. Move you on over here. Fish, fish, fish. Resources. I'm actually considering a potential border growth here in my capital after we pick up aquaculture. So we're going to go ahead and pick up aquaculture. Collect this city. The network monument is complete. Ooh! We can actually go ahead and get ourselves a crab in the capital. Actually, no, I'm 1 star short. How do I want to handle this then? Fish. I feel like while I would like to explore, it's not going to be beneficial to us. I was actually hoping to, but I needed to pick up marine life. So since we don't have the marine life tech, it's not worth the risk of the movement. As explorers, will not be able to go onto these ocean tiles. So instead of potentially losing all that, we're going to go ahead and just cut our losses right there. But I do want to start dealing with all of these units Imperius is throwing at us. They've got a lot of defenders, so we've got multiple units that will be beneficial to us, but the first one is going to be the Tridention of being able to have range. I could also pick up a cheaper archer, but those are at least our starting options. We're going to go ahead and spend the turn to flood up these tiles. Move you here, secure this kill, move you on back. Move you on over here. Man. I really need to consider the marine life tech so I can start going across this ocean. All these riders that are over here on the east threatening me are definitely making me a little bit uncomfortable. They can absolutely kill the mermaid that we have here with this defender. So the safer play in this current instance actually would be to reposition this mermaid onto our capital in order to protect it. Now, if our opponent picks up roads, then we're in a little bit of trouble. So we're going to go ahead and pick up a safety amphibian in order to help protect this city, because we'd really rather Imperius not be taking that from us. But yeah, that looks good to me, so we're going to go ahead and pass this turn. It's a lot of units are encroaching on my territory. That defender is really in the way. So if we were able to get these warriors to flood up these tiles, we can actually really consider marine life and navigation in order to deal with all these defenders. Plus, I really do want to get on the ocean, so you know what? We're going to go ahead and pick up marine life. And with that, we're going to train a shark here, just so that way we can start killing off these defenders without having to worry too much. I'm going to heal up this mermaid just a wee little bit. And need to start cleaning out these riders. Ooh. I need to move you here. And they can kill it, so we're going to go ahead and actually get that boost. Move you on over here to block the path. Move you back over to here, and it's time to finally start moving across the water. That's what we're looking for, the ruin. Oh, that is fantastic. And we can pick up this starfish next turn. Everything's all coming together in a very good way. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and move this mermaid back so that way we can flood this tile next turn. Because I would like to have our jellies and sharks start dealing with all these units over here. So while Imperius is trying to go with a slow approach, these sharks with surprise will be able to very easily deal with these defenders. And they won't see it coming. Actually, they will, but you get the picture. Woo! That's a lot of combat units that they just trained. Okay. We're going to go ahead and move this shark over here and secure this kill with that warrior. And yes, I am going to go ahead and flood this as I originally intended. This amphibian is going to secure this kill here. We're going to go ahead and move you on back over here. We're just trying to get a whole bunch of beneficial trades for ourselves. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. This warrior is going to die, but that's okay. Some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice I am willing to make. We're going to go ahead and fish here, level up the city, because again, we're still trying to improve our economy. And now, our main goal with these 6 cities that we got is we want at least 18 stars per turn. So with that, we are actually doing fantastic on our economy. The only downside we're actually having right now is how to finish getting our last couple of stars. But we'll be able to use something that is special to Aquarion in order to finish securing ourselves more crabs. We're going to go ahead and pick up navigation, get this starfish so we get some stars back, and move on to this ruin. What's going to be in the ruins? Let's find out. We're going to break this ice and really try to slow down our opponent's advance. And last but not least, we're going to pick up a jelly. The jelly is going to do fantastic thanks to all this water on dealing with this capital. Now, we will have to go over one fact with all these naval units. I wish I could train another one over here in our capital in order to help show it off. Unfortunately, we're going to have to level this unit up because of this rider back here. But unfortunately, we're just going to have to show it here in a little bit. So we'll pass the turn, let our opponents make their decisions. That's looking good. We're going to continue to break this ice. And we need to move this mermaid forward, specifically so we can move this jelly over here. Now notice something. The jelly does have a movement of 2. However, it only can move onto this tile. It can't move onto these other flooded tiles. Because unfortunately, these flooded tiles still count as land. It can only move on water. It also includes that it moves slower on flooded tiles. But we'll still be able to accomplish what we would like to do. Move this shark over here. Bop. And recover this unit. Secure the kill with the mermaid. And at this point, we're really just trying to throw more wrenches in our opponent's plans. Amphibian secures the kill. Oh, that's not what I wanted to see. We're going to bounce back, or else the swordsman would kill our unit. Oof. But look at that. Look how well these sharks and jellies are able to deal with these defenders. They're doing such a fantastic job, and as long as we keep flooding these tiles, we're going to do perfectly fine. Fortunately, it's not going to be quite as easy when dealing with these other tribes, but we still have more tools under our belt. So, before we pick this ruin, I need to consider, are there any texts that I want to pick up? And there is one. It is construction for the windmill. But unfortunately, yeah, we don't have enough stars in order to get that. So what's the next best thing we could do? I could pick up smithery. That doesn't do anything for us in the now. I got a lot of texts of I could pick it up, but it doesn't do us anything in the now. So I think we're just better off not picking up any texts and just improving our economy even further, which is going to work out perfectly fine. So a special thing just for Aquarion we got these ruins in the water, and as long as the ruin is not directly next to any other cities, and it's in the ocean, or it's in a water tile, it doesn't have to be in the ocean. If it's in a water or an ocean tile, we'll discover one of the lost Aquarion cities. So instead of getting a I didn't realize it had a really cool animation. Miji-wan, that is beautiful. Thank you so much for that. That is fantastic and is absolutely what Aquarion needed. So with that, we found a city. It starts off as level 3, so we're able to get a lot of population, but we do have a low income of 2. Again, we're going to continue to hamper on this of Aquarion typically has a weaker economy. Now notice, like I said, we're doing good. It's because we're focusing a lot into it, because we're not being pressured too much. But this city does hurt our economy, but at the benefit of allowing us to train more units. Because normally we'd only have 6 cities worth of production, but now we have a 7th, and it has 4 whole pops. And if we go ahead and use things such as the Gates of Power here, and then top it all off with the Grand Bazaar that I feel like just putting over here, getting a population growth, it is possible in order to get the crab. It is time for crab. Right over here in one of these lost cities. And then it makes it to where it's not actually hurting our economy too much, because now it has more than 3 stars worth of production. Plus, we still have all of our stars available to us. So we pick up an aqua farm here. Get ourselves that border growth I was considering. Then we can go ahead and aqua farm here, and aqua farm here. We get another crab. Unfortunately, star-wise, we don't quite have enough in order to level up another city, so we're not going to invest any more into our economy. But we can definitely still continue to get more military might, and I would like to get a jelly here on the front starts considering threatening the Masma city, and thanks to the swordsman here we could flood this tile. This jelly's gonna do us wonders, especially with all the support of these amphibians back here. All right. So here's an interesting thing that had happened, because remember that these flooded tiles count as a water tile. So what Imperius ended up doing is they put a port here specifically so they can get a more powerful rammer out onto the field. It is actually an interesting choice that they went with. We're going to go ahead and secure this kill, get ourselves a veteran boost, move the jelly forward in order to deal damage to everything. And this mermaid can't secure this kill. Oh, but the shark could have if it had faster movement. Dang, that is unfortunate. Move this shark over here. Move this jelly on over to here, because it does have a movement of 2, and this is regular water here, so it can just go 1-2 onto this land. allowing us to start considering to apply pressure to Imperius right over here. Man, I really want to deal with this rammer without taking too much damage. So unfortunately, the best way is I need to throw this mermaid in, take a lot of damage back. Unfortunately, this city can't train any more units, and I really need a unit there this turn. So we're going to hunt, specifically so we can go ahead and get this mine over here. And I guess I could have placed the Park of Fortune, but we're going to go ahead and continue with the plan and hunt with an animal here and pick up a population growth, as there's not really much of a reason to expand the borders. There's not enough resources gained by doing so. Based on everything that we've got going on, I could throw in another jelly, but I feel like I actually just need another unit on the land in order to help deal with all of this. Could be a mermaid. It could also be another shark. Move you on over here. Look at all these starfish! Oh, dear goodness. That's a lot of units. We're going to go ahead and move you out of range over there. Move you over here in order to break this ice, because I'd rather them not. I guess this is technically a misplay, because they can algae up these tiles, so these units are actually still being threatened and can potentially be killed. But I want to start dealing with this centipede. And in order to do so, we're going to pick up a shark right over here. And I have went ahead and decided to pick up an amphibian down here to have a little extra mobility. And 2 stars left. Is there anything else I want to do? Not necessarily. This veteran unit's going to heal on up. That's going to go ahead and secure the kill. Move you on back. And we're going to continue to just flood up these tiles. So move you on over here. We're not going to attack with that. And secure that. All right. Everything's looking really good. We're making steady progress on Imperius, taking full advantage of sharks and jellies, as well as our land units to flood everything. And we're going to go ahead and pass the turn. Now look at that. They tried moving their unit adjacent to the jelly, and it didn't work. They moved it here, but the jelly's tentacle ability went into full effect. Tentacles causes damage to any unit that moves next to it. And that also counts when the jelly makes a move, such as, if I move over here, boom, extra free damage. Move over here, attack that, and, oh. Actually, tell you what, here is our solution. So I really want this amphibian to help us secure the siege on the capital, but because of this land tile, we're unable to move all the way across. But this crab can move onto this land tile here and automatically convert into a flooded tile. That's because crabs have the auto flood ability. Flood any tile this unit moves onto, making crabs quite essential for Aquarion to be able to make a land push. And that does then allow us to move this amphibian forward, bop, and then secure the siege with our warrior. That is fantastic. Move the amphibian on back. And now we need to continue to consider how we're going to deal with the rest of these units. So we're going to move this swordsman on down to continue applying pressure. Jelly moves forward, secures a whole bunch of kills. We're going to heal these veterans up and start moving this amphibian over to a slightly better tile. Man, that's actually really rough. We're going to go ahead and flood this tile, I think. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and flood the tile and then move this amphibian on back. Yeah, that's actually looking really good for us. Alright, so now, again, we're going to look to improve our economy as much as possible. We're at 31 for 7 cities. In fact, if I go ahead and capture this, that's going to give us a whole bunch of extra resources. 41 stars. Yes, please. I will definitely be taking that. The shark didn't find anything I wanted it to find, so we're going to break all this ice. And we're going to just continue to move this crab forward to apply pressure. Move this amphibian. This one doesn't have any kills. You'll go ahead and capture there. Move you on over there. We're actually really hurting on military units right now, so I'd like to spam out units, but first, what are we going to level up? Our goal is to pick up construction for this windmill, because Aquarion, again, has more special traits available to them. And that is the fact that, as you can see with this atoll here, they're able to build their buildings on both on land and water. So this windmill here does produce population for each nearby farm and aqua farm, which means that we can place an aqua farm here to get a crab. We can place an aqua farm here to get a crab. We can even place it on this ocean tile here. As you can see, we can place our stuff over here that tribes normally can't do. And as Aquarion, we really want to try to take advantage of that, especially if I can get an aqua farm here. That's another potential crab right there if we do that. Yeah, so we're on our way to construction. In fact, we can pick up farming in the now. I'd actually rather just level up all these cities. So aqua farm, population growth, aqua farm, and if I do a border growth, I'd be too short until I pick up the aqua farm. But it gives me more power on this city over here. It really doesn't make too much of a difference, so we'll just pick up population growth to save ourselves a little bit of a headache. Aqua farm. Again, we're going to go ahead and pick up the population growth. You know what? No, we're going to pick up border growth. There is a thing that will matter a little bit for us. So this city will go ahead and pick up a border growth as we have a little bit more potential, but it's essentially the same. So we'll be definitely needing construction in order to level up those cities. But now we're at 34 stars per turn. What else can we do? I don't think I have any more levels available, so the rest can go into military might for the rest of this turn. I think I'd rather start applying pressure to Cymanti here, and in the nearby future, we're going to want to figure out how to invade them inland over there. Now, these crabs will help, but if we consider heading over to mathematics, we can pick up the puffer unit, which will allow us to flood tiles at a range. So instead of having to rely on crabs or other units to flood the tiles manually like that's happening over here, we could train the puffer to be able to start sieging these cities pretty well. So we may consider just saving our stars for a couple turns. Possibly. In fact, what I'm going to do to help defend these units, we're going to train a jelly here on the front, and no other units. We'll pass the turn, because the jelly will help deal with a lot of Cymanti units. In fact, it's a complete counter to hexapods, as it will kill them from 100% to 0 once they move into a jelly's tentacle range. Look at that, even more units are throwing themselves into the wrong place. Flood more tiles. Go ahead and secure these kills. More stars. Now this crab does have, with us securing this kill, the escape ability, so it can move again after attacking, which in most cases, it usually doesn't come into play, but what we're going to go ahead and do here is secure the kill with this amphibian, move the amphibian on back, and then secure the siege with the crab in order to kill off Polaris. And then we're going to go and pick up this star over here. Start moving the jelly forward in order to start dealing with all these units over here. It's all coming together. Now, before we capture this city, we really need to continue to improve our economy. I could get construction to level up everything, get a lot more crabs. Ooh, that is sounding really good. Plus, it makes it easier to start getting all the other techs. Plus, that also gives us access to trade for even more economy. You know what? That's what we're going to do. We're going to spend all of our stars this turn to pick up construction, because we're not under any threat. So we could definitely spend the turn to improve our economy a lot more. Move this crab all the way over to here. Auto-flood this tile. We'll move this jelly on back just to secure a kill. Amphibian, I need you to heal. Amphibian, I need you to heal. Amphibian, it could heal, but we might as well move you on forward. Oh, that's a veteran unit. I was thinking it wasn't. Interesting. Hey, but we could definitely finish leveling up this city with... Never mind, I don't have enough... Park of Fortune? Ooh, you know what? I'd like to go ahead and get a crab. We're going to go ahead and get our crab here, just so that way we can really deal with Imperius with a crab front strategy, and then support it with some other units. This jelly really can't do too much, so we're going to move you on back. And all these units are done. All these units except for this one are done. I thought the centipede was still here. That's an absolute misplay right there. I should not have thrown that unit away like that. Oh well. We got the vision. It'll all work out just fine. Pass the turn. Hey, our swordsman lives! We're going to go ahead and move this crab on forward, auto-flood this tile, move it over here, auto-flood this tile, doing exactly what crabs want to do. Moving an awful lot towards the opponent and just being a very scary front. Again, move you to here, auto-flood this tile. This is going really well. Now, one downside, again, is these units are going to have to move really slowly across the land. We're going to go ahead and continue to flood these tiles. Oh, this swordsman's done fantastic, but it's just about time for it to go, unfortunately. Pick up these extra stars. Move you on over. Move you over here. We're going to go ahead and break this ice. I do suppose that Simanti was not hating me too much, because they could have killed a lot of my units there. So I guess attacking them was not the smartest move, but that's okay. We're not here to min-max our ability to fight the AI. We want to go ahead and figure out all the best ways to be using the Aquarion and their new units. With this fantastic economy, because we now have construction, we are going to pick up trade to improve our economy even further. Because on these larger maps, picking up trade is pretty well, but on smaller maps, especially as most 1v1 games go, you usually don't have the kind of time in order to perform that. We'll go ahead and capture. Goodbye, Polaris. Thank you very much for your city. And look at that. One interaction that you get to see here is any tiles that are frozen that you melt as Aquarion instantly becomes flooded. And that's going to help us out so much in trying to get ourselves even more crabs. That is right. We're going to need even more crabs. But first off, we're going to start off with a mill here. Get ourselves an aqua farm. And boom! That is... I mean, a park would technically be more efficient, but we really want crabs. Crabs means auto-flooding, and we can paint the terrain to be exactly what we want it to be. Once again, we're going to place down another windmill right over here. 1, 2, 3. And time for crab! And then finish it off with a market to go from 45 stars to 51. And with that, we are doing fantastic on our economy. Turn 19, though, so we did around turn 13 because we weren't pressured too much. You really want to play a little bit more defensively, and sometimes you got to play aggressively in order to be defensive. But you are really trying to improve your economy because all of our naval units, especially with the combination of jellies and units that we haven't picked up yet, such as Tridentions and Puffers, really can be quite oppressive in the late game. Now, they're not the strongest in the late game. I want to go ahead and just kill off this unit here. Veteran you on up, because why not? And yeah, continue to just move on forward. Continue to move on forward. No more stars, pass the turn. But we really want to try to be able to get all of our aqua units, because all of our units that are special are quite expensive. Now, unfortunately, you did get to see one of the major weaknesses of the jelly, is if units aren't moving next to it, it doesn't really do too much, unfortunately. How are we going to do this? All right, move this crab forward. Move this crab on forward. And you're already a veteran. It's going to take forever to heal you up. So you know what? We're going to go ahead and secure these kills like so. So move you on forward over here. Move you on forward over to here. Move this crab over to here to continue flooding up these tiles. And yeah, we can actually go ahead and siege the city, but it's definitely not going to hold, as I definitely see Imperius throwing all these units in to unsiege that. So what we're going to go ahead and do is move this amphibian unit on back, so that way this jelly can defend it with these tentacles, so any units moving forward will have a bad time. That is sounding so wonderful for me. I'm just going to use this one to paint all this territory down here. It could definitely be using that better, but we train crabs all the way in the back. I'm going to use them how I see fit. How do I want to do this? I think I need to just go ahead and place a windmill here. Gets us another crab. Place down a market for at least 2 more stars. We can really get a lot more. Oh no, fertilize only works on selected tiles. It doesn't work on water tiles. Oh, I was hoping to get a whole bunch of aqua crops. That's okay. Everything still works out in the end. Yeah, it'll be fine. This is fine. It's fine. It's fine. Go ahead and place our market down over here. And actually, I really want to consider getting forestry and mathematics for a sawmill that can give our marketplaces 1 extra level. It's not a terrible idea. It's definitely something that I can be considering. What more economy? Well, since we can't place aqua crops on all of these tiles over here, I think we're best off placing a windmill on this tile. I'm being indecisive. I don't want to spend too long on this. We're going to go ahead and train ourselves in another jelly. I think it's actually somewhat important that we start getting a lot of units. And since these are far away, we'll train a couple sharks all the way here in the back. And another shark over here. I definitely could have gotten even more crabs. So I guess it's a minor misplay, but it's not going to be the end of the world. Amphibian in order to get proper mobility, even though they don't do well against defenders. It's fine. This is fine. We're spamming out units. We're doing one of the things that really needs to be done. Is just spamming out units for the extra mobility. Oof. That's a lot of crabs. How do I want to deal with this? That's just a lot of units. Move the crab on to here. Ooh, that's not good. That is not good. We're gonna go ahead and move over here. Bop-a-da-bop. Move you on back. So that way we can find the corner lighthouse. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? These units are really low in health, but we'll be able to acquire these extra stars on this upcoming turn. Oof, we might actually be losing this city. Even if I train a unit, we're going to lose it. So I think I just got to let it happen. Oh, man. Ain't that a shame. We're going to lose the city. Or are we?